Well, might as well start recording. I'm trying to get my head into a nice space where I can settle down and write some code. Right? That's what you want to do, right? As a developer? Yep. Write code. Feel good. Productivity. Yes, that's how it works. Gotta use that dopamine for something good. Okay, so I think I've hit the right amount of caffeination. Yep, that hits the spot. And yeah, just gonna close the window. Would have been nice if I had a button. So there is an aspect of performance anxiety when it comes to programming. Now you kind of carve out this space, get your mind in order, settle down, and for me that involves, bout of hyperactivity followed by a dip and then coming back to somewhere in the middle, and that's the best spot to start coding. So I'm not gonna try to get this working. There's some background music. Usually I'd have some music playing, but I don't know how that's gonna come out in this recording, and I can't be bothered anymore. The mic levels are pretty high. I'm gonna look at, I feel like I might be too loud, so I'm gonna move it back over here and talk at that distance. Yeah. Oh, did you hear that? Okay, that sounds okay. Good. So what I'm gonna try to do is I've put a lot of garbage code in, some pre-generated garbage that I need to clean up. So I just dumped this formatter, and now I've mixed it up with a gen server. Yeah, so it's a so I went ahead and kind of asked ChatGPT to generate an Allure formatter in Erlang. It seems legit. I haven't tested it out, but I need the formatters to plug in through a configurable interface. So what I've slept on it, and I think the best option, or a good option, whichever option kind of works, is what you go for. I mean, at this stage you can obviously change it later. So I was trying to get to this file and the config. So I guess I need to start with the test. So when in doubt, write a test case. So I need a formatter test case. So I'm gonna create. I use common test straight away because unit tests probably later always ends up becoming a common test because of all the dependencies that you have to manually set up. I guess once you have this, once you have the purpose defined very well, you could strive towards getting more e-unit test coverage, again for the purposes of this project. Common test should suffice. I'm just gonna copy that over. Actually, I just copy the whole thing all the way down till here, put that in here. Gonna call that formatter suite. All right, and I'm gonna put that group as formatter. Be still live? Yes. Okay. Right. So groups formatter. Just gonna go ahead with that. All that's good. Same test. All of that should be. I don't think you really need a dispatch on this one. This would probably be more suitable for a unit test in this one, but yeah, the last time I started with unit tests and I ended up with common tests, and maybe this time I'll start with common test and end up with unit tests. Okay, so what are we gonna test? We're gonna test the reporter. So we got a few. What are we going to report? What are we going to report? We're going to have to report stages. So execute step. So what have we got? Just gonna switch back to formatter, where I've got a whole bunch of things. I'm not sure if I need a gen server, but I think I should probably implement it as a gen server, because if I hook up a bunch of formatters and they all run on the same loop, each formatter might introduce some latencies that might affect the test performance, the BDD execution performance. So it's going to take longer time to complete a step, because it's blocking on all the other formatters that might be configured. And the way I want to build this, we might have a large number of formatters formatting into different formats, for one format for an IDE probably, or another format for a web interface. The possibilities are endless. So what we can do is, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with a gen server, and then format report, right? So if I've got to start this gen server in my test case, and then well, I don't need to. I can just, for the sake of the test case, I can just use the function call directly. So here we have format report. So how are we going to define that interface steps? So let's look at a feature. I'm going to take the API feature. Also, I'm going to just pull up the inspiration for this, so to say. So I'm going to just refer back to that. Behave BDD. So DamageBDD is supposed to kind of be compatible with Behave BDD. So if you're already using Behave, you should be able to scale up on Damage pretty fast, and that's the intention of this project. So here we have scenarios. Let's look at formatting. What have we got? What have we got here? I'm just trying to find something on formatting. Formatters. Is it TT? Yeah, I totally trip on some common spellings, so please bear with my quirks. Alright, so here we got formatters and reporters. Behave provides two concepts. So this is what I was looking for. So I'm just gonna use the same mental model, or same model, conceptual model as behave to work with to start with. So we've got formatters and reporters. Yeah, so here we got, so I'm gonna pull up one of these formatters and see what's inside it, and see if I can do a similar implementation in Erlang for DamageBDD. So I'll probably get to GitHub. There's a GitHub link. Should have probably just started with that. There we go. Where are we going? Where are we going? Sorry, I was just getting a deep breath. I'm going to dive into this. So, what's this? Behave, behave, reporter, base. Let's see what this has got in here. Boom. All right, let's see what's in here. So, well, nothing much in here. So, I can safely assume a few defaults. Like success and failure, basic stuff. How do I define that? How do I define that inside the formatter? So, might be overthinking it, but so I'm gonna ignore all of this handle call, handle cast, and even this generated function. Why would I need that? Because I need to loop through a state. So I've got a state here. I should probably rename that. No, actually I don't need to. I would just take config. So I would say handle it's not reporting, so yeah, it's like slightly different. Okay, I'm just gonna go with some name. Naming is hard, right? So just stick to the simplest possibility. Success. I need the config. Fail. And okay. And skip. Right. So I guess again that would be handle. Now it makes more sense. All right. Now it's starting to make more sense. Just call it step success. Oh well, that's a bit redundant. Okay, handle success. And okay, handle failure and handle all right, so here we got okay, what have we got to do? We got to go loop through all the reporters configured in the config. So I'm gonna assume that there's a config, this configure map, I should make it a map. I think it's a list currently. Okay, so formatters test, test config. Right. So I'm just gonna add one more thing here. Formatters, and inside that, gonna define the formatter. Define the formatters. Excuse me. Tend to drift off. Okay, so the format. I'm still getting used to the talking and coding thing, but I could get used to it. Given I'm sufficiently caffeinated. I have a lazy tongue, so sometimes I need to really get animated to get it to loosen up. Like, yeah, no, alright, so let's formatters. What are the formatters I want to configure? What have we got? I'm gonna give it a name, and I guess you want to have a file name. So I would say std out. That should do it. Format it to standard output. Next one, HTML, and format it to a path. Right. That should do it. That's config. Alright, now I think that's the hard part done, really. I mean, the rest of the stuff is fun. It's going to be fun. Now it's just a matter of looping through all those formatters and executing them. So I guess I would have to write a text formatter.url. Doesn't need to be a gen server. Oops. Yes, please. Okay. Okay. What are the exports? What are we exporting? We just need export minimal stuff. It's called handle step. Well, handle cost. So I'm just gonna call it. What do I call it? Step formatter dot. I guess it would be just call it format step. So you got config. Context. Don't know if you need context. I guess you do need context, yes. Huh. And then in here, yeah. Format step, and this is when we kind of figure out whether it was a success or a failure. Status. Maps. Get. Fail. Text, and then default to status success off. Off. Success. And in case of success, you want it to be success, and in case of anything else, if it's not that is, in case of anything else, you want it to be a fail. Okay, now then how do we handle skip? Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of a complicated way, I would say. So let's look at how this is gonna get called. Where are we updating the fail? Checking fail here. Oh yeah, skipping steps. So format step config step status skip step. Do we need this? Nah. What is this called? Let's see how this works. Step config. Config and step. Context. Status. Right? Handle step status. Context config. Something's missing. Status context step well, I don't know if I want to keep this shape. it's like this. There's no reason for this shape, is there? Alright. I don't know. Why did I have this shape? I guess I'm kind of stuck with it. Do I need to continue it? I don't see any purpose. Format step. Yeah, well, I guess I can do without it. Alright, so in that case, that makes it easier, I guess, in a sense. I'll remove, simplify. Let's see what it breaks. Config step, context. What did it break? So what have we got? Here's status would be last. So here we got config step skip. That should do it. Alright. I'm sure something else is broken somewhere. Let me just here. So here, this is a total fucking mess. Oops, excuse my language. So, report form. So I'm gonna have to call this format step, and that takes 1 2 3 4 arguments. That's that. Handle step. Is it being called? Is it? It's not. I've got to export that. Cast. Do I need to? I guess not. It's a private function. So I could just do handle call, gen server call, format report. Oh geez, this is gonna go around in circle, right? So I'm just gonna call this I guess this should be called invoke formatters, right? Because what I want to do in this gen server is invoke a bunch of formatters. Invoke step. Invoke formatter. Invoke formatters. Yeah. Oh, I guess that makes kind of some sense, huh? Right? Format report. Yeah, I mean, format report is probably at a high level what it's doing. That's what I asked ChatGPT to generate anyway, so I can do a little better than a ChatGPT, I guess. Okay, so invoke formatters, and then I'm gonna call I'm too lazy right now, so I'm just gonna alright, invoke formatters. So what happens from here? I mean, god damn, I could do this so much faster in Python because I'm much more fluent in Python, but I'm really having to kind of push through with this one. So anyway, so what I need to do in this thing is from the config find all the formatters. Find all the for each config. Oh man, okay, so now I'm really struggling here. How do I get? It's a list, so how do I get it out of the config? I've done this before. Yeah. Phew. I was getting a bit of an anxiety attack, thinking whether I'll be able to figure this out, but I figured it out. Ooh, okay. All right. So anyway, that's normal. That's just me hyping my brain to come up with the solution and make the connections. It's not much of a jump here, just trying to get the config out, and then for each of those I'm gonna call the formatter. I don't know why this is just weird. This is generated code, so I'm just gonna completely discount all that. See, that's the thing, I have an attitude to destroy code first. So even if it's generated code, I will destroy it and then test it and fix the failures in the testing. Because if I have to touch some code, I have to make it better. I could make it better with small improvements, but that's not what I'm about. I'm thinking about how to break shit and set them in place correctly, right? So on that note, here we are, formatters. I'm going to call formatters shall format. Formatters be formatting. Format step. Let's call it format step. And then what are we going to format in here? Same. Just got to pass through config. Do I just kind of blindly pass through the config? I do have to pass this through, but it's the same object, so it should be fine. It's not like I'm duplicating objects. Well, not objects, labels. I'm still getting. I have to change my internal labels to objects, abstract information that's just floating around in my head. I can reattach labels to it, kind of like that. It's easier to do with technical stuff, obviously. We all know that, because the mental model maps to the digital model in terms of my mental model of how computers work. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not a full-on virtual machine emulator. But I just need to make these neurons connect long enough for me to capture that code, capture that into code. So right now I'm really kind of trying to make those neurons connect. Caffeine certainly helps. Are we still on anyway? Yeah, I think I'm still on. I haven't gotten to editing it, so anyway, I'll think about it then. So config, step, context, status, same things. Just pass it on for each of those formatters. And I think that's it. I don't care for the results. So again, it just passes the same interface. So I could just use that. And I only need to right, invoke formatters. Doesn't this need to be exported? I guess so. /4. Alright. So I got all the stuff. I can remove all of this stuff. That's all bull. I don't need all this crap. Alright. What do we got? Again, more cleanup. I don't need any of this shit. So basically, I've removed all the stuff that ChatGPT generated anyway. I guess it provided some kind of a crutch for me to hold on while I kind of got my logic figured out. I still don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, this is definitely not gonna work. I'm gonna have to fix some more stuff. Here, I'm gonna have to do the apply. Kind of thing here. Meta. What am I doing, meta? How meta can you get? Apply. I don't need to do that, so just apply formatter. Format step. Args. Right. Is that it? Is it? Am I done? No, not. Oh, kind of. What am I missing? Jeez, what am I missing? Oh yeah, the for each, comma, formatters. Jeez. Alright, that should do it. Let me steamroll this shit. Steamroll. Okay. Oh. Let's look at that test case now. Starting to all come together somewhat. So I guess I gotta start this start a gen server. Alright, so I'm just gonna push through until I connect this up. Formatter, format step. Oh, I need a step. The best part about one of the best parts about Erlang, I guess, is that you can you can copy stuff out of a stack trace and just stick it into your code and it should just work. As in, that's the state. There is no magical object beyond that. So there's no kind of a serialization overhead. You know, I mean, in Python, if you copy paste a Python object into a shell, I guess that would work too. Yeah. Let's take an object, right? Yeah, that's not going to work. Boo 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 boo. Dang. But in Erlang, okay, I mean, I guess this is the fun part about learning new languages. I can't get a multi-paste going, so I'm just gonna the list is not fair. Well, the representation of the object is the object. That's okay. Anyway, I'll just focus on getting my shit done rather than dissing the language or dissing languages. Not dissing, comparative critiques, comparative language critique. Okay, so that should be a step, I guess. Is that a step? No, it's not a step. That's the keyword and all of that. Is that a step? Yeah, I guess it is a step. Let me find this failing step. So what am I putting in there? I'm putting the reason for the failure, not the step itself. Right. Oh, actually, I'm printing the step above that. So, the reason. Does the reason include the step? Oh no. Oh yeah, there you go. I'm putting the step as the failing step. So that's correct. That should do it. So format step. That's step. Alright, so we've got formatter, format step. We got all these functions in there. Config. Context. I'm not using context. I'm just going to pass in an empty context. Context is a map. I don't know why. I should just make config also a map. I don't know. What's the advantage in holding config lists versus a config map? Property lists. Is it just legacy? I think there's some performance considerations, but they might not be still relevant in the newer versions of the Erlang VM. Okay, so we've got format step and status. So I'm gonna just start with a fail. I always want to start with a fail. How are we gonna test this now? Alright, so formatter stood out. So we got a capture stood out. How do we capture stood out from a common test? Anyway, that's for later. I'm just gonna run this and then I'm gonna take a break, cause how long was this session? I have to probably work towards improving some certainty around how long I can code continuously. I guess it's a good practice to have. I could, keep caffeinating myself and keep going. But I do need to walk around a bit, unplug. Although I do want to see how this is going to turn out, so I'm just gonna push through running this. Get that dope. Alright, some easy wins over there. Why is port unbound? Where is it using port? Damage app. Okay, why is it using port? Okay, port. Damage app. But why? This stuff. Yeah, I was just testing this out. So probably I will need to fix this. I was trying to integrate vanilla, which is the Eternity middleware, so I can connect the functionality, the utility provided by Damage. I can connect it to a token and get the infrastructure, incentivize the infrastructure to run tests at scale, independently, decentralized. Yeah, because testing infrastructure that's got to scale with whatever you're building. So I guess you never know until you actually run it to that capacity. Really, like past indicators. I guess when you start talking about that, then you just have to be aware of what is happening right now in your system and hope that you did catch all your scalability issues early on, so your return on investment is realized early on. And that's what crypto enables us to, as programmers, not be hedging our bets on availability of infrastructure. We know that if the customer puts a coin in the coin slot, maybe you need to kick around the machine a bit, but it should work, right? It should scale. You put more coins in, you get more scale. That's kind of like the ideal world, but when you put your money to it, that's what you should get. I guess it's a big hedge and all of that stick. What I can use right now is what I've chosen to use right now is the Eternity network to run to capture the utility of DamageBDD. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm just gonna code. Okay, IP. Yeah, so I'm just gonna pass this on into sysconfig value. Yeah. I'm not sure. I guess it should be in part of damage. Yeah, so I guess it should be. Think about programming. It's good to not be sure about pretty much anything. It is a kind of hubris when you think about it, right? Believing that not thinking about it will solve it. Okay, when the thought comes, you just capture it. Vanilla. I'm just gonna AE nodes. And I'm gonna put in here IP address. I think the port is, what is the port? Default port for the Eternity node. You think Google will know? You think ChatGPT will know? Is the default port for boom 3013. I'm just gonna go with that. And yeah, okay, there we go. We'll close that. Didn't I close it properly? Did I close it properly? Fuck my brain. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry, apologize for my potty mouth. No, no. What is it? What was it? Get nth? I think so. I don't think that's right. Ah, there you go. Whew. Alright, so that should do it. Come on, work. I'm gonna take a break after this. Ugh. I did not know you could do variable substitutions inside Erlang like that. That's so cool. Like, I did not know about the include function expanding variable names in the string. That's so cool. Anyway, 6. Well, what's failing over there? Damage app 6. What's wrong? Oh. Self-inflicted damage. IP port. Well, see, if you have if you have test cases, you can afford to be a degenerate programmer. Right? There's a cost to everything. So I hope that as I progress on this project, my skill also progresses. Well, actually more like my mental model of how my mental Erlang compiler, so to say. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you are training an aspect of your brain, an aspect of your consciousness that you don't fully understand yourself. Like, you know, I mean, that's why, well, I mean, I would say GPTs are really close to probably representing whatever that it is that a programmer does in his brain, which he himself is not aware of. You know, in terms of keeping the context as close as possible to the implementation, because evolution has always preferred efficiency. Evolution prefers efficiency. It does shoot out some crap shots that are completely inefficient. Anyway, that's like a philosophical hole. Then I can get into what I'm not thinking about, why this is failing. So invoke formatters failed and keyword. Alright, so invoke formatters is failing. So the gen server is failing. So as long as I keep, you know, hitting this problem and making incremental improvements in efficiency, that is better than, well, that costs less than training an LLM and conveying the human idea, setting the context, the human context around the problem to be solved. So everything that an AI possibly could generate can be run inefficiently for a cost which humans are willing to pay for, rather than suffer the pain of having to deal with these inefficiency up front when it happens, right? I think I've gone full circle on that, so I'm just gonna rein back and come back to this error, which is undefined gen server call undefined. So it's trying to invoke formatters with the args. Why is it failing? Because the args don't add up, probably. How many args? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Come on. Brain work. Focus the brain. That's all you need to do. So we've got format step goes in here. I'm not sure about this, mate. I don't know. Was failing because status is the first thing and status is the last thing here. Come on, I know it's a fucking brain dead way of doing this. We're resorting to the brain dead resorting to the most brain dead way of doing stuff has the advantage of reinforcing, reinforcing the correct way to do it, Steamroll. Right. Let's see if that worked. Still undefined. Why is it undefined? I'm sure there's one of you all gurus are looking at me and laughing. I'm missing something very obvious, aren't I? Yes, I am. And callback module, gen server callback module, args, and that's args. Args should be a list, is it? I guess args should be a list. Refer. I gotta figure out how to get a breakpoint into a common test. It's the config. So we got the config. No proc. Okay, so that's new. So I guess now I need to start a process for this. How do I do that? Oh man. So at this point, alright, so I am just kind of trying to figure this out. But I guess I've hit a point where I've actually have to understand like how to start a process in my test case. So I've already done it. I've just got to make that connection between what I did already and what I'm doing right now. Application started. Sorry, excuse me. I gotta start that supervisor. Yeah, really kicking in there. So your gut starts asking, when you dig deep. I think when you dig deep, really need to, it's like a change in gear when your digestive system kicks in. You know, it's that burping and the dad burps. So what am I doing? So I've got to initialize. So the problem now is that I can see that invoking it is probably not the issue. I've got a no proc. So I need to think I need to set some pool configuration. Pool boy. I'm using pool boy. How am I using pool boy? Why am I using pool boy? Okay. Jeez. Now I gotta initialize this. So I could just do on this initialization, just initialize. Wait. On which initialization? On the formatter test suite initialization. Formatter test suite initialization. I guess I could do this. Application ensure started. DamageBDD. Well, no, at this point I'll just give it a shot. See what happens. Not exactly what I had in mind. I guess I could just do this. Could I? What happens now? Bad match. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I'm missing something out in my test setup. That is it's messing this up. Just fucking Elixir. Fuck Elixir. Sorry. Sorry, I just that's how I feel about it. Yes, that's the beauty of it. Oh, yeah, okay, thanks for explaining it. How do I set up a gen server test case? How do I start it? Because I got to start the process. I really have to use my brains here. Because it's a pool boy. Do I need to use pool boy? I don't know. God damn. I think I'm reaching here. I'm really reaching, trying to figure out what's the next step. But I'm guessing the right approach here is that I don't actually need to start another process. I should be able to call this directly, but I'm getting this no proc error because it's still a gen server, so it's expecting, the call is expecting something to have been started. So I'm not sure how to do that in a common test. That's why I'm kind of trying to find a test case that I can rip off. I'm sure there's something really easy in there. Oh, there you go. It's the way in which I'm calling it, of course. So, handle cost. What's the 10 at the end? So yeah, just flailing around, that's a state. flailing around until something actually works. Yeah, no, I should read the book again. I mean, I could read the book a couple of more times until I get the nuances of writing common tests in Erlang, and I should have got that if my understanding of gen servers in Erlang was like Paka. It's not that Paka, obviously. Alright, so what am I going to do next? So we've got handle cast and args, handle cast, and then you got args. So that's your args, and then you got state, and that's your state. Steamroll. There you go. That's good. I think I might have something going on after all. Moment of truth. Didn't work. Handle cast. Oh, it's just a structure. It's just the shape of that invocation. You see? That should do it. Boom. Passed. Great. I think that's a great place to leave it for now. Take a break. Whoop whoop. Test case passing, whatever that means. I'll check it out in the next video.